Hello, Ukulele Club members. We're gonna talk about Rainbow Connection, and before we start playing, make sure your ukulele or banjolele is in tune. The chords for the introduction and the A section are the same, and it's going to be A, F sharp minor, D, and A7. The A chord is kind of like the cousin of the F chord, so if you can do the F, all you need to do is lift your first finger and put it on the third string of the first fret, and you've got your A chord right there. And this is what it sounds like. So your first chord is not too tricky. Then the next chord is F sharp minor. To play F sharp minor, you're going to keep your two fingers in the same place, and you're going to put your third finger down on the second fret of the second string. It's kind of like that G7 formation, except you're gonna, instead of having it here, you're gonna shift it up here. And this is F sharp minor. To go from A to F sharp minor, you just move in your third finger. So get a feel for that. And once you feel good doing that, move on to the D chord, which is your three fingers going over 4, 3, and 2 string on the second fret. And once you've got a good grasp of the D chord, go back to A, try that. And put your little third finger down, and you've got yourself the F sharp minor chord. You're gonna take your second finger and you're gonna move it down one string, and you're going to take your first finger and move it over to the top of fourth string, second fret, and you'll find your D chord. So the first three chords sound like this: A, then we're going to go to F sharp minor, do a little switch up for the D, and then the next chord that you're going to play is E7. To play E7, your first finger goes over the first fret of the fourth string, your second finger goes over the second fret of the third string, and your third finger goes over the second fret of the first string. So going from the D chord, you're going to shift your first finger back a fret, and you're going to shift your third finger down a string. So get a feel for going from D to E7, and play through that a few times until you feel comfortable with it. And then we're going to do 3 strums because this is in triple meter. Try playing 3 strums with 3 strums rest. So we'll do 3A, going to the F sharp, going to the D, going to the E7, and once you feel comfortable with that, try to play it without the rests. And we're going to repeat the introduction, so you should need to play it at least twice. Once you feel comfortable playing those chords for the introduction, go ahead and try to sing some of the A section with it. Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. And after you have a good feel for going through the first verse, you can go through the second verse, and then eventually work your way to the B section. The B section has 2 parts to it. The first part is not too tricky, and then the second part is a bit more challenging. So let's talk about the not too tricky part first. You're going to start by strumming the D chord for 12 beats, and you should already know how to do that. 1, 2, 3 fingers going over the second fret of 4, 3, 2, 1 strings. And then you're going to go to the C sharp minor 7 chord. To do that, put your first finger over the first fret of the 4th string, second finger over the first fret of the 3rd string, put your third finger over the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Then get used to transitioning from one chord to the next. So we'll start with the D, and then go to the C sharp minor 7. You're going to shift. That was interesting. You're going to shift your 1 and 2 fingers back a fret, and you're going to shift your third finger down a string. So give that a few strums. My fingers didn't want to work that time. They still don't want to work. We're going to get it this time. Third time's the charm. After you can get through those chords pretty comfortably, then you want to try doing it with 12 strums on each one. So we'll try the D chord and then the C sharp minor 7. And after you've done that, try to sing the verse with it. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. And then move on to the second part of the B section. The second half of the B section is definitely the sticky part of this song. If you can't get it under your fingers, that's okay, I understand, but I definitely want you to give it a try. The first chord that you're going to play is a B minor chord, and that is a bar chord. To bar means that we cover more than one string with one finger. You're supposed to bar the 1, 2, and 3 string with your first finger to play the B minor chord. So you might want to get a feel for that. And if you're getting that popcorny sound, you might want to move up the neck a little bit and then work your way down. Because the higher up on the neck you are, the less strength it takes to get a good bar. So work your way down till you're back to that 2nd fret. And remember, we just need to bar these 3 strings. You don't need to add the 4th one to it unless you feel like adding some extra challenge for yourself. So that is what you're going to do with your first finger. Your third finger is going to go all the way out to the 4th fret of the 4th string. Or compared to where your first finger is, you're going to move 2 frets over. So it's going to be right here. And there's your B minor chord. So work on barring until you get a nice sound. And you should bar your first finger over strings 1, 2, and 3, and then add your third finger. If you have this barred nicely, but you're still getting popcorn, it's because you haven't bent your third finger enough. It has to be bent and not touching the barred strings. And it's not an easy chord to play. So spend some time and work on that one. After the B minor chord, you're going to add E7, which you've already played. And to make that transition, your first finger is going to go to the 1st fret of the 4th string. Your second finger is going to go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and your third finger is going to go to the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So once you've got a feel for B minor, see if you can do that. And it happens pretty quickly. After the E7, you're going to go back to the A chord, and we've already done that in the A section. And then you're going to go to the F sharp minor chord, which we've also done on the A section. So the first half, the third line of the B section sounds like this. B minor, E7, A, F sharp minor. The second half sounds, it's almost the same thing. The only difference is after the A chord, you're going to end on an E7 again. So the entire pattern for the second half of the B section is B minor to E7 to A to F sharp minor, back to B minor to E7 to A to E7. And once you've got that under your fingers, you can try to sing along. I may not sound very good just singing this cold. We'll see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. So spend some time on that, and after you've got one part of the B section together and the other part, try to put the whole thing together, and then try to do the whole song. For the entire performance of Rainbow Connection, we're going to play the introduction twice, and like I mentioned earlier, those are the same chords as you play throughout the A section. I think most, if not all of you, will be able to handle playing that part of it if you spend a little bit of time on it. The B section, like I said before, I think the first half, most of you will be successful with. The second half with the bar chords, some of us may have to either substitute or kind of clank it there. We'll see what happens. When we get to the end, we have repeat signs around the second half of the B section. So we're going to do that twice. And I didn't put this in the music, but there's going to be an A chord, a final A chord at the end. This song is in triple meter, which means you're strumming in beat groups of 3 instead of the 4 that we would normally do. And this is what the entire song sounds like when I'm singing it instead of Kermit. About rainbows and what's on the other side. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? Well, I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers.